Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today. So before we get into it, let's just start off with a weekly on Euro USD, and you can see we ended up with a pretty solid range bar. There was the high of the week, and there was the low of the week, and if you scroll to the left, you'll see there's been quite a bit of interaction at this level. See, 2016 we had a couple of weeks where there were ranges as well as inside bars here. So oscillators have crossed over. They have started pointing to the upside, just above the 20 signal that you need to be careful of shorts at the moment, but I'm not convinced either way. And if we look at it on the 8 hour, you can look to the left, you'll see kind of a bit of a range that's forming here. So we've got this range here, then on top of it we've got another range. So if we drill down to what we can be trading, big up, big down, and that down was pretty much onto a Fibonacci level. You can see there's a 61.8, not exact, but we did get an inside bar here, and we are moving to the upside again. So for me at the moment, probably a potential pullback. The trend is down on the 8 hour, but we're looking for a move back up to test breakouts, and the most logical one at the moment is going to be that area right there, which is 106,405. So for me, looking at this, we have any pullback onto structure should be looked as an opportunity to buy. So we have 105,076, and then also 105,027. The low this morning would be your stop area. So basically what we're looking for is another move to the upside. And lastly, this was the move up, Fibonacci pullback. That takes us straight up to the target level here of 106,420 area. Moving on to US dollar Japanese yen, and on the weekly, just have a look here. We've got a pretty big hanging man at the moment. So if we do break above it, then that hanging man is null and void. So just put that level in. And then what we'd also want is the bottom of the hanging man, which is also an area of support. So if we look at the 8 hour, you can see, again, last week, pretty much sort of a little bit of a flag it formed, and then big sell-off, and then the buyers came back in. And that pretty much happened over 2 days. So Thursday was a sell-off, and then Friday was the buyers coming back in. So 50-50 call on this. I think we start dropping below. Let's tidy that up. We start dropping below the low of Thursday, and that is 131,500. Then I suspect we have a bit of a pullback, a bigger pullback coming. But looking at the oscillators at the moment, I suspect we are looking for support, and just gonna roughly, you can see this area right here where all the tails are interacting with this. So that is 134,646. We can find some support here. I suspect we have a potential breakout coming, and I just want to tidy it up. That is 135,600. So two ways to play this. You can see big move up range, and this is the safe way to play as far as I'm concerned. Wait for a break of 135,600, wait for a retest. You can do that on the 15-minute chart, and then you should get a measured move to the upside, and the measured move is going to be something along the lines of that. Should take you to 138,600. So break, retest, get your entry, your stop below the structure or a little bit below the range, and then you looking for the moves back to the upside. So a bit of a conflicting story to Euro USD. So just be careful, keep the position size small, and make sure you have your stops in place. Moving on to pound, British pound, Japanese yen. So last week was a little bit of consolidating and then a break. So pretty clear bit of structure here that we need to pay attention to. And I just want to put the second level in. So you can see there's the break. There is another break there. And we do have a pin bar here, but there's no structure off the top for that pin bar. So just assume that we have a potential move to the upside brewing. So at the moment, last week was pretty much all over the place. We had this range bar, and I'm just going to put this range bar in because it is pretty important. You can see we're still very much inside that range bar. And normally what happens if you break one of these range bars, most of the time, I won't say all the time, but probably about 70% of the time, if you get a retest of it, then you get a move in the direction equal to the height of that range bar. So at the moment, nothing really brewing. We are sideways. For me, I'd be looking for sort of a break of this area here at 165.656 to the upside, and that would need a break and a retest. That would get me long. And let's just do that. And your target is going to be this previous high here. So I'd actually just drop it just a little bit below the high around there, just take profit. That would be 167.995. So you can trade this as London breakout as well. So first 7 1-hour bars, get a break to the upside. It's going to give you a nice tight stop loss below this bit of structure here where you see these tails. So that's kind of the move to the upside we're looking for there. Moving on to Euro British Pound. So last week was a big up. We're looking for support in this area, and that tried to do it and then plummeted through. Trend is still up at the moment. So it's just a really messy and complicated uptrend. So I think this is the area still to watch. If we can get above it and find some support, oscillators are agreeing with us at the moment. So looking for an area of where you can get potential support. So I just want to add that in. So there is my zone of support, and one last area. Come on. There we go. So that gives us 0.85721. So if we find some support down here, that would be an opportunity to look at this for a move to the upside. What I would also do is pay attention to that trend line. Just pay attention to the moving averages here. If we can find support on them in the moving averages here with the crossover, that's a test of the break of the moving averages. I think you have a potential for a move to the upside brewing. If we start dropping below this, then you're looking at this trend line. So the only trade I want to do is looking for a long if we can find support here. I'm a little bit skeptical of the shorts at the moment. So that's kind of just the way I'm going to play this today. Anyway, that's kind of me today. Hope it helps, and we will catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.